Welcome back to another episode. Performative Millennial Diet Coke here. Today, we are going to be shooting the 6.5 Creedmoor. Now, this is the Christensen that you guys have seen before. If you haven't seen me do the load development for this one, go back and watch that video because it's very cool. Today, all we're doing with this gun is shooting some factory loads out of it. All right, per usual, we shoot the lightest bullets first. We've got the Winchester 125 grain deer season XPs. And one thing that I'll be calling out where I've got it measured is the max or the cartridge overall length for these. This one is 2.725. All right, giddy up, partners. $28.99. Forgot to mention, but the box advertises $26.50 out of these. So that was $28.99. $28.95. $29.02. $28.87. That was a little bit slower. $29.20. That is a standard deviation of 11. Standard deviation of 11. We don't usually get that out of Winchester rounds, so that was a pretty interesting group of rounds there that we just shot. All right, next we're going to shoot another copper before we switch over. I've got another 125 grainer, but we're going to test these to see how they turned out. Now these are the Federal 130 TSXs. Box velocity is 28.25. 28.41. 28.81. It's already a standard deviation of 19.8. 28.74. 28.74 again. 28.91. Standard deviation of 16.9. So big standard deviation on that one. Next rounds we're going to shoot are going to be these 130 terminal ascent. So these out of the muzzle we're expecting 2,800. We'll see, man. We will see. Okay. 29.22. 28.67. Now remember, we're expecting 2,800 out of the muzzle on these. So those are quite a bit faster. Although our deviation is quite large. 28.83. 28.83 again. 29.02. That is a standard deviation of 19 on those. 19. Group's not terrible. Here's your deer season XP box. It's going to be turned sideways. These are 125 grain rounds. We're expecting 28.50. So it will be interesting to see if we're actually getting the velocity out of these that it says that we will. Because we did just get some really fast speeds out of the terminal ascents. Faster than we expected out of the box. So, okay, 28.86. Remember, we're 28.50 on these. 29.72, big jump there. I felt like a little more pressure on that case. Okay, 28.99. 28.84. You could tell the bolt was a little tight on that one. Does look like there's a little mark on that rim. We're gonna shoot this last one. You know what? That's 28.79, standard deviation of 17.2. That's a pretty stinking good group. I don't usually have really great results out of Winchester ammo. It's nothing on Winchester ammo. It's just my rifles don't typically like them, or I'm just a terrible shot. Both I think are equally possible. But the group there was very strong. So you know the drill. 5 rounds, 129 SSTs. Box promises 29.50-ish. 29.39. 29.66, 29.55, 29.74, 29.63, standard deviation of 12.
Okay, 2 things at the outset of this. Well, first of all, you can tell I am in a different place than I usually am, and that's because I really wanted to break down this performance in the lab and figure out what happened here. I'm going to tell you off the bat, if you had some reservations about the last video where I compared 270 and 6.5 PRC, you're going to have even more about this one because we're bringing the 270 back into the mix. Now, I'm going to start off at the top. For those of you that are still here, before you click away, I'm not saying that the 6.5 Creedmoor is better than the 270 Winchester. What I am explicitly going to say here and show you is the data that we got from real life shooting. We're going to compare 3 bullets across 3 calibers, really 2 calibers, but 3 cartridges. But the performance looks slightly different. So I'm gonna pop two up on the screen here. And if I didn't tell you which one is which, if you only looked at the velocity column, you'd be able to know which one they are. On the left there, you're gonna have 270 Winchester, which we shot last time. Now, I didn't intentionally do this like this, but it turned out. And so we shot the 270 Winchester and the 6.5 Creedmoor, both with the Winchester Deer Season XP. That's their extreme point intended to hunt whitetail in North America. And you can see there with the 270, it's a 130 grain bullet traveling 3,003 feet per second. Now, I think this barrel is probably around 20 or 22-ish inches on that 270. If you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it. You can tell there. Muzzle velocity, 3,003 feet per second. Now, with the 6.5 Creedmoor in this video, we shot the Deer Season XP as well. It's a 125 grain bullet, and our muzzle velocity was 2,879 feet per second. Starting at the top, you can see 2,604 foot-pounds of energy out of the 270 at the muzzle, 2,301 out of the 6.5 Creedmoor. So there is a big discrepancy between both of those right at the muzzle. As you begin to move down, things start to get a little more narrow, and here's why. With the 6.5 Creedmoor and the 6.5 PRC for that matter, you're shooting bullets with higher ballistic coefficients. So one of the questions that gets asked in these videos all the time is, why do we need this? What impact does it make having these newer cartridges with these newer bullets? Not much has changed over the years. What you do see at longer range between these two cartridges is there begins to develop a gap. So let's take a look at 450 yards. We've got 36.64 inches of drop out of the 6.5 Creedmoor, and we have got 35.07 inches of drop out of the 270. So they're close. I mean, within an inch of each other. At 450 yards, an inch is, I would say, relatively insignificant unless you're making a marginal shot. Let's look at the foot-pounds of energy. At 450, the 270 is driving 1,305 foot-pounds of energy, and at 450, the 6.5 Creedmoor is driving 1,290 foot-pounds of energy. And that speed is 2,156. And out of the 270, it's 2,126. Well, let's take it another 50 yards and just see what happens there. Well, then the 270 drops to 1,200 foot-pounds of energy and 2,039 feet per second. What about the 6.5 Creedmoor? 1,204 foot-pounds of energy and 2,082 feet per second. Here's where these newer cartridges start to make a difference. To me, I'm not shooting animals at 500 yards. You may, and that is perfectly your choice. Now, I'm going to pop up some photos on the screen here in a moment. They are graphic, so viewer discretion advised on those. Hunters, you're not going to care, but if you're just hanging out for a good time, know that these are dead animal photos. So these photos are from a whitetail doe that I killed at 432 yards. And this is with the 6.5 Creedmoor. So she was broadside 430 yards. I was very confident I was shooting less than an inch out of my hand loads at the time. And so I went ahead and took the shot. And you can see on the entrance, you can see there's a tiny little 6.5 millimeter hole. And on the opposite side, there is a keyhole. Here's the thing. Your bullet has to be able to expand at those distances. And usually what we expect to see out of expanding bullets, at least in the modern era, is around 1,800 feet per second. That bullet entered perfectly centered and then tumbled when it hit. Now, it did the job. The deer walked 20 yards. She laid down. I gave her 20 minutes. She never got back up. And I walked down there. She was dead as a brick when I got there. So for all of those who are saying that's marginal, number one, it is. Like, that's just a shot that you don't take unless you're incredibly confident. But number two, I was very confident in what the bullet could do, and the bullet did exactly what I expected it to do. So here's the thing. We can sit here and look at these charts all day. As we begin to move further, the 6.5 Creedmoor begins to take over. It delivers a little more energy and speed at distance. Like if you begin to look at 700 yards, we're talking 1,800 feet per second. That's our expansion velocity that we are looking for, but it's only 904 foot-pounds of energy. So this is totally up to you, right? What is your confidence in the bullet? What can it do at long distance? So why do we need these new cartridges? Well, it's because of stuff like this. If you're going to be taking these out and shooting them and killing animals at long distance, listen, I don't care about long range shooting. I think it's fun. I don't do a ton of it personally. I reload to hunt. When you're having younger shooters, people who might be more sensitive to recoil, this is the cartridge that I would drive them toward. Here's where we begin to step it up a little bit more. Let's take a look at 6.5 PRC. I won't dive super deep into the details here, but you all know we compared 6.5 PRC and 270 in the last video. So looking at their velocities at the muzzle, 2,993 out of the 6.5 PRC and 3,003. So we've got a 10 foot per second difference. And one call out here is I'm comparing the terminal ascent out of the 6.5 PRC. I did not have the 130 grain Winchester Deer Season XP loaded in a 6.5 PRC. Otherwise, we compare those directly. So just know those are a little different, but the ballistic coefficient is approximately the same. It's 532 out of the terminal ascent compared to 540 out of the 6.5 Creedmoor. So you'd actually probably get better performance out of the Winchester Deer Season XP compared to the terminal. So let's go out to realistic distances, right? 100 yards, 2,814 feet per second, 2,287 foot-pounds of energy out of the 6.5 PRC. That's 2,792 feet per second out of the 270 and 2,251 foot-pounds of energy. So you can see right there, they're running practically neck and neck. The 6.5 PRC does have an advantage, but that's marginal. Let's run out to 500 yards. 2,166 feet per second out of the 6.5 PRC and 1,354 foot-pounds of energy. And out of the 270, that's 2,039, 1,200 foot-pounds of energy. So you can see there, the 6.5 PRC already begins to edge out the 270 at those distances. And as you go further down, right, like if we just compare them at 1,000 yards, for example, you're delivering 1,500-ish feet per second compared to the 1,311 out of the 270. And 496 foot-pounds of energy out of the 270 compared to the 6.5 PRC. Let's say you're in the eastern United States where your shots are at max 200-300 yards. The 270 is going to do everything that you want. But the 6.5 Creedmoor is a perfectly capable cartridge. The 6.5s in general. This is a really great look at why we need newer cartridges, but we can also cater to the people who need something that's a little bit more sensitive to their shoulder, whether that's somebody who's older, whether that's somebody who's younger, whether that's somebody who has a shoulder injury. Maybe it's somebody who is all three. Man, I just want to appreciate you watching through this one because the last half of this video is really a great comparison on number one, why do we need new cartridges? And number two, does it really matter? So at the end of the day, it's totally your preference. But I think when you take a look at the data compared to each other and you look at real world results, like we looked at with that deer that I killed, I think it paints a better picture of, are these cartridges capable? And the answer to that question, I would have to say is yes. So thank you for watching the video. If you've made it to the end, please hit like. Please let me know down in the comments what your favorite cartridge out of the three is. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below. There's way more content that is coming where we dive into stuff like this. And I hope we catch you in the next one. We'll see you there.